Welcome to Daily Spiritual Thought, and today's title is All Things Originate in the Spirit. So that our lives run in every moment in the desired direction, so that everything succeeds with ease, and we can also make the one or other correction if we were contrary to expectations. It's important that we, as often as it's possible for us, to be in a high consciousness about who we really are. To be aware of our own abilities, and exactly for this reason I would like to remind us with my message today, once again, that we simply know we are universal referred and there is nothing that could not be changed in our lives if we like it. And you will also remember, if there were times in your life when you're not so aware of the power of thoughts, maybe not even knew about it, life was certainly a bit more difficult back then. And situations arise in which we feel partly unfairly treated. Suddenly questions come up like, who is to blame? Is there really justice? And when questions of guilt emerge, we should always be aware that we are unconscious. Because if we are really conscious and want to bring our creative power to unfold, we're not going to ask these questions. You can recognize that whenever you get into situations where you feel disadvantaged, feel unjustly treated, you're unconscious. If we are aware, we are creator beings and generate just on the outside what we need as a message to remember that again. And whenever people are unconscious, they risk looking for blame in others to generate an explanation for their unhappiness, to avoid blaming themselves at all costs. Blaming others maybe seems to be convenient. That does not solve any problem at all. As long as we look to blame others, we'll never find the actual cause. We should also be aware that the increase of guilt is ultimately envy, which means already resigning, feeling small and without power, and transferring the blame to others. But remember, to whom you blame, you give the power. Think about it for a sec. For better understanding, imagine that someone in your environment has something that you've never had at all, and you would like to have it, and you think you can't afford it. The thought of envy could already arise at some point. Only if you are aware of your creative abilities, there is no reason to be envious, but you could say, I pull exactly the same into my life and accordingly enjoy the joy of the other people already having it. Envy always resonates with a self-pity victim attitude, and for the mass of people, life itself is unfair. But it's not. And even thousand-years-old texts have tried to convey this to us over and over, and even a Buddha has expressed it, as I think, perfectly. Buddha has chosen the following expression: all things originate in the spirit. Our powerful spiritual creator in us is the source of our creation in the outer world. And the trick is to accept that. Should we be aware that it's important to look at the unpleasant things as well? Because to accept the beautiful things is easy, but also to bring the unpleasant things into relation with ourselves, that's the challenge. Because when you are a conscious, creative being, you suddenly realize you have the skills that lead to realigning your life, and that's what's wonderful about it. You subject your thoughts to the law of attraction, and the law is perfect. It's unchangeable and gives each individual exactly what they focus on. And if someone is envious, for example, life says, okay, we provide you with confirmation you may continue to be envious. Then it keeps sending you situations that you can look for the blame in others. Because the law of attraction never fails. And you are always connected with the law of attraction. It's quite simple because the law of attraction knows only one answer to everything you think. And that is always yes. And if you think you've no money, it says yes. If you think you've failure, it says yes. But if you go more consciously and focus on what you want, that you get love, live in ease, live in abundance, it will also answer yes. It's just a decision. You know the rules of the law of attraction, so you should ask yourself today, What are my thoughts and what will come to me tomorrow? You determine the direction because you are a creator of your reality. And exactly for this reason, I wish you for today the purest, the most loving thoughts that you can only have. For now, this is Andreas from Daily Spiritual Thought. Despite all hardships we're going through, have a wonderful time. Thanks a lot for listening and God bless.